What is net neutrality? It has nothing to do with a volleyball or tennis court. The net refers to the internet, something that's become as necessary as water and power for most of us. The neutrality part is about keeping the net the way it is today. It's a set of rules the FCC approved in 2010 to prevent speed traps on the information superhighway. In other words, speeding up access to some sites and slowing down access to others or blocking certain sites entirely. So, are these rules a bad thing? It depends on who you ask. The companies that deliver your internet, like Comcast, Verizon, and AT&T, have spent millions in lobbying money to get rid of net neutrality, arguing that helping the government's micromanagement. Their business is not good for them or their consumers. On the other side are internet giants like Facebook and Google, streaming services like Netflix and President Obama. They all urge the internet is a public good and should be regulated like one. The World Health Organization is expected to include gaming disorder on its list of mental health conditions in 2018 as a part of addictive behaviors. The WHO defines the disorder as a persistent or recurrent behavior pattern of sufficient severity to result in significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, or other important areas of functioning. A spokesman for the health organization says the new disorder entry includes only a clinical description and not prevention and treatment options. Some experts disagree with labeling this addiction as a disorder. According to research from a psychologist at Iowa State University, almost 9% of children who play video games in the US are addicted. The research also found similar numbers globally. The psychology also believes the increased availability of technology and broadband internet have contributed to gaming addictions. Do you feel overwhelmed at times by your expenses? Well, maybe it's time to reevaluate how you manage them and make some changes. Done properly, managing expenses can actually win you financial freedom. That's a view of entrepreneur Nick Hollick. And one of the first steps is to focus on maximizing cash flow rather than simply trying to pay off all your loans. And you can start by putting your expenses into one of four categories. Lifestyle expenses are dining out, vacation, and the like, and they need to be managed wisely. Protected expenses are your various insurance policies and even emergency savings, and they are productive expenses, things that allow you to build assets, such as a rental property. The last category is the one that causes problems. They are destructive expenses. These are the ones that subtract value from your life. According to Halleck, they are everything from consumer debt to overdraft fees, and even that pricey gym membership that you don't use anymore. And it's these expenses that should be eliminated if you are ever to gain financial freedom. Remember, the goal is not just to get out of debt, but to achieve some level of financial independence. There are four main ways the flu can turn deadly. The first and the most common cause is pneumonia. The influenza virus can directly cause viral pneumonia. When someone has the flu, it can weaken their immune system so much that another virus or bacteria can enter their lungs. Infected lungs fill with fluid, making it difficult to breathe, so oxygen can't get to the rest of the body, which can lead to death. Sepsis is the second way the flu can become lethal, especially in healthy younger adults and children. Sepsis occurs when a person's immune system goes into overdrive, trying to fight the flu. This causes inflammation, which can lead to a cascade of symptoms that ultimately end in organ failure. A third way the flu can kill is by increasing your risk of heart attack. Experts say that in adults, the risk of heart attack increases sixfold in the 7 days following the flu diagnosis. The fourth way the flu can kill is by dehydration, particularly among infants and young children. The flu often causes vomiting and diarrhea, which can quickly become life-threatening if fluids aren't replaced in the body. Blue is the world's favorite color. We use it everywhere. In fact, right now, half of all humans are wearing blue jeans, but in the natural world, blue is extremely uncommon. Blue flowers, fruit, and food are rare. Of the Earth's 64,000 vertebrates, only 2 have blue pigments. The sea isn't blue, nor is the sky. They are actually optical illusions, and if you've ever been captivated by a pair of blue eyes, you've been deceived. In reality, they are pale brown. Blue is so elusive that some ancient languages didn't even have a word for it. Yet, strangely, we can see it better than any other color in the dark. That's why emergency vehicles have blue flashing lights. The landscape appears bluer in the distance and often fades into a hazy cerulean horizon because blue doesn't really exist in our world. It only hovers on its edges. So, it's pretty ironic that we all live on the blue planet. When Sergey Brin and Larry Page first met at Stanford in 1995, they argued a lot. Soon, they put their differences aside and become partners. Brin and Page developed a search engine that used links to rank the importance of each result. This project, called Bedrock, would soon become Google. The first version of Google was hosted on Stanford's servers. It used so much bandwidth, the server crashed. Brin and Page left Stanford's PhD program to pursue Google full-time. Their first office was a Northern California garage. In 1998, Google was incorporated and was growing rapidly by 2001. Brin and Page recruited seasoned businessman and engineer Eric Schmidt to serve as CEO. In 2004, Google went public at $85 a share, considered a disappointment at that moment. Its IPO filing famously included the phrase, "Don't be evil." As Google grew, it expanded beyond search with big acquisitions like YouTube, Android, and Waze. The company also rolled out now iconic products like Gmail, Google Maps, and Chrome. In 2015, Google folded itself into a new parent company called Alphabet. Page and Brin would lead Alphabet, and Sundar Pichai became the CEO of Google. Antibiotics are one of the miracles of modern medicine. They have saved countless lives, but there are another side to them. The bacteria that live in our body. They've learned how to outwit many of our most powerful antibiotics. These drug-resistant bacteria are called superbugs. Every year, these superbugs infect more than 2 million people in the United States and kill at least 23,000. Here's how a bug becomes a superbug. When you take antibiotics, there could be some bacteria know how to resist that antibiotic. Well, those smart bacteria, they are the ones that survive your round of antibiotics. And they flourish. And that's when you get a proliferation of superbugs. And the more that we as a community take antibiotics, the more chances the bacteria have to become resistant to them. When it comes to weight loss, tell me if this sounds familiar. Go ahead, have that extra cookie. ice cream, or glass of wine, as long as you work it off tomorrow. It's a message that clicks with most people, but the reality is simply not true. First of all, calories in all come from food, but as far as calories out go, only 10 to 30% are lost through physical activity, and only a portion of those are lost through exercise. The rest from things like talking or texting or just fidgeting. The vast majority of your calories are burned just by keeping the body running. Vital functions, such as generating heat, circulating blood, or making new cells. That's called the basal metabolic rate, or BMR. Now, it accounts for 60 to 80% of your calories burned. Now, you do get a bonus burn, about 10% from digesting the food you just ate. But when someone works out, they often feel entitled to eat more, not realizing how few calories were actually used. So, say, for example, you spent 200 calories in 30 minutes of walking. Well, you could undo that in less than 5 minutes by having 4 chocolate chip cookies, or one and a half scoops of ice cream, or less than 2 glasses of wine. Parkour is both a training discipline and a sport. It uses movement to overcome obstacles, both physically and mentally. These movements comprise running, jumping, climbing, paddling, swimming, rolling, and quadrupedal movement, which is like crawling. The roots of parkour are in French, hence the name Le Parkour, which translates to getting from point A to point B, where one would maybe go around an obstacle. In parkour, we go over it, through it, under it, whatever. It can be seen as a dangerous sport because it is an extreme sport. However, when trained in the proper environment under the correct supervision, the sport is respected for what it is. Parkour instills a lot of confidence in the individual. It hones their balance and their coordination. As much as it is a discipline, it's also an art form, so it does tap into that creativity and that imaginative side, which is a great way for one to express oneself freely and then just get to be oneself and do what one wants without any barriers. Sometimes it's annoying, other times it's sharp. It can be a persistent ache or sudden shooting burn. It's pain. Everyone knows what it is, but how it is relieved when you accidentally touch a hard stove or try to walk on a sprained ankle. Special pain-sensing nerves called nociceptors are triggered to send neutral messages up your spine and into your brain. In turn, your brain releases natural occurring opioid. These chemicals lock into opioid receptors throughout your body to help dull the pain and generally calm you down. They also hit receptors in the brain stem that slow down breathing. Now, you've likely heard of opioid drugs like oxycodone, hydrocodone, or even heroin. These drugs, all chemically similar, mimic the body's own natural occurring endorphins. Prescription opioids are one of the most common ways for doctors to treat pain, but the more opioids you take, the less natural opioids your body makes, and the less sensitive you become to the drugs, pushing you to take even higher and higher doses to get any relief and increasing your chances of an overdose. Next is our Channel 5 morning traffic report, brought to you by Warner Office Supplies. Construction work at Central Plaza is causing traffic congestion at Fisher Street, Pinewood Drive, and Lincoln Road. If your office is located around these areas, consider leaving for work earlier this morning. Check back later for another update. Welcome to our management training workshop. For more than 30 years, our catering company has provided clients with excellent food and planning. Our reliable, flexible, and affordable service has earned us a respectable reputation. So, when catering an event, manager must be committed to our high standards of professionalism and customer satisfaction. Good evening. Now that dinner is finished, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Emily Krause. She will tell us about her background, research, and personal tips for success. If you are familiar with her work, then you know we can all learn something from her. After the talk, she will answer some audience questions. So, let's welcome Dr. Krause to the stage. Next up, we'll have your daytime radio morning traffic update. Commuters on Intersect 91 are once again dealing with heavy traffic. Try using detours through Longan, Marvsville, or Harbour Town to save some time. We'll return after this commercial break to report on this afternoon's expected thunderstorms. Hoover Driving School offers a variety of basic courses covering the operation of motorcycles, standard vehicles, and commercial trucks. We also offer advanced driving programs. For your convenience, evening and weekend classes are available. For more information, visit us at our website. Thanks for flying with Harvard Airlines. In a few moments, we will begin the landing process. Please remain seated, secure your trays, and fasten your seatbelt. When the plane has come to a full stop at its gate, please gather your carry-on luggage and wait patiently as a passenger near the front of the plane exit first. Thank you. Tonight, at the Altona Sports Awards dinner, we will recognize this league's most dedicated players, coaches, and managers, and we'll also review some of the most stunning players from the season. And finally, we'll take a look ahead toward the future of our organization. This Tuesday, Haas German Bakery will be giving away free samples of our most popular products. Guests can try a wide assortment of breads, pastry, and cakes. While enjoying your baked goods, you can also have a cup of our freshly brewed coffee. If you are ready to take your dream vacation, let Jackson Travel Group help you plan it. We guarantee that our agents are professional, friendly, and always available. You can find out yourself why we were voted the best travel agency in the state. So make an appointment with us today. Good morning, everyone. I will be your trail guide today as we hike through the beautiful forest of Wayne National Park. If you could look at the schedule I provided, I'd like to bring your attention to one change. We'll now stay at Bower Lake until 2:30, so you'll have an extra 30 minutes for resting, exploring, and viewing the scenery. When the temperature is high, nothing beats a nice cool cup of shaved ice. At Ice Castle, conveniently located in Kingston Plaza, you can enjoy a variety of sweet, sour, and fruity flavors. This month only, post about us on the social media and receive a free treat. Welcome everyone to the Jefferson Jazz competition. Every band has come to showcase their amazing talents for you. If there's a group you especially like, consider visit the vendors in front hallway to purchase a recording. Now, relax, turn off your phones, and get ready for some great music. Thank you for coming to the statue dedication ceremony at Lake Merty Hospital. In the courtyard, we will have placed a statue of Dr. Omen Chalk. During his time here, he served as a chef of medicine, treated countless patients, and performed over 1,000 successful surgeries. And even though he retired 10 years ago, he still serves the hospital as a volunteer and board member. Tonight, Mayor Ronald Oxley is joining us on our weekly radio show. Mayor Oxley, who won last month's election, will be talking about his plan for improving the city's waterfront. And later on, listeners are invited to ask in questions by calling the station, posting on social media, or sending a text message. Good morning, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's morning tour will start in 10 minutes. On this tour, you will learn more about the singers, guitarists, and drummers who have defined this genre of music. Now, if you will prepare your ticket, we'll move to the first floor where the tour will start. Good evening and welcome to this month's school board meeting. A lot of parents have come tonight to discuss teachers' pay, the summer school schedule, and changes to the athletes program. So if you have a question or a commitment, please use the microphone at the front of the room. When it's time for your vehicle's next inspection, visit MC Noted Auto Shop. For the next rest of the month, all oil changes, engine checks, and tire rotations are 30% off. With over 15 years of service in the Pineville region, we are a busy business you can trust. Are you excited about seeing all the great sights of New York City during your visit? If so, reserve a seat on our famous bus tour. This comfortable ride, which started down, travels through each of the city's unique districts. You will see 5-star hotels, touring skyscrapers, and iconic film locations. Come and celebrate the Washington Rockets winning season at this Saturday's game. All tickets prices will be reduced by 10% as a way of thanking our loyal fans. In addition, guests can play games, win prizes, and watch live performances before and after the game. Visit our website to learn more. Last night, the long drought in Logan City was finally broken by a brief rain shower. Even though the rain lasted only 15 minutes, it brought some much-needed moisture to local crops. Now, the farmers are hoping that the drought has come to an end, but that doesn't appear to be the case. Forecasts predict another week of hot, dry, and summer weather.